Good morning, Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man. Welcome back to another podcast episode. So we are going to be reading from our daily bread in Genesis chapter 18, verses 25. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? There are times when I feel God missed the beat in caring for us. Ooh, this daily bread messy. We experience a painful loss, a cruel injustice, a terrible consequence of someone else's action. Why didn't the Lord intervene? We must wrestle with this question. Will I still trust God? Abraham trusted God's goodness when every circumstance looked grime. He knew God would bring evil to his account. He also knew God's merciful heart towards those who trust him. The judge of all the earth has promised he will right all wrongs. I'm sorry, y'all. I got caught up from the first sentence. They talking about I feel like God missed the beat in caring for me. The Lord said in Genesis chapter 18, verses 25, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Shall not the man that created this world, that separated the night from day, shall he not do right? Shall he not serve justice? Shall he not deliver? Shall he not provide justice? Yes, he should. The Lord is going to do everything that he said he was going to do. A lot of the times going through this world, you be like, well, God forgot about me. He don't really see me down here working. He must not see me down here trying. Well, this is just crap. And a lot of the times this is where people give up. People just say to heck with it because it's like, wow, I'm putting in all this work and God ain't even recognizing me. But with that, I mean, we can all, if we want to tell the truth, we all had our little thoughts about God. We just have to ask ourselves that question, like the person said in their testimony. Will I still trust God? No matter how irritated I am, no matter if he goes silent. The Lord tells us all the time he goes silent. He takes breaks. It be a lot going on, so I don't blame him. But, in general, we just have to, no matter what, still trust God. And it is easier said than lived. And when we go through things, the last thing we think about is God. The last person we think about helping us is God. We're just so eye level with whatever is going on and the people here that we can see. Easier said than lived. But when we do go through things, the thing that help us to continue to trust God is to actually communicate that with him. But sometimes you don't want to talk to God because you already see this. Like, what am I finna be talking about? So sometimes you just want to sit in that irritation. Well, let me speak on my own behalf. Sometimes I just want to sit in that irritation, but it's not good. And I still have to trust God, just knowing that in general, he is going to do everything that he said he is going to do. Shall not the judge of the earth do right? The Lord is going to do everything right because he created everything. So he knows everything like the back of his spiritual hand. The person in their testimony is saying, look, I feel like you forgot about me. I be going through losses and cruel injustices, terrible consequences from someone else's action. And why didn't you jump in? We must wrestle with the question because God not finna jump off his throne when we go through something. We have to realize that we're going to go through something. That's just the way it's set up. But we still have to ask ourselves, even though I'm going through this, do I still trust you? The person in that testimony saying, look, Abraham trusted God's goodness even when the circumstance looked dirty. Even when the circumstance looked like that's it. He said Abraham knew God would bring evil to his account. We have to know that there is a spiritual war going on. And because of that, for the rest of our lives, it's going to be something. But we have to always trust God when we're going through anything. He said he also knew God's merciful heart towards those who trust him. When we trust God, when we lean not to our own understanding and constantly acknowledge him, even when we struggle, then this is why we're able to still be blessed. This is why we're able to still go forward. The Lord is going to do everything that he said he's going to do. We just have to be patient with that time and just trust him in the process. When we continue to read, we'll see that we're not the only ones that's waiting for something. We're not the only ones that cried out to God and felt like we were not heard. But all of the men and women that did have their problems or their concerns with God, they never gave up on him. They continued to go forth with whatever injustice, and they still trusted the word of the Lord. Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man, when you get time today, I encourage you to read Genesis chapter 18, verses 25, and seek ye first the kingdom of God, and just trust him. Just trust him. I know it's easier said than lived, but, do the best you can do with trusting God in your situation.